So last week I was invited by Jonathan Draycott to go to the Jonathan Draycott Golf Academy because they had the Swing Catalyst dual plates, these plates you see in my studio installed, the dual ones, one for each foot. They're only the second person in the country to have these installed. I was the first. So I went over to talk to him about how I use them, how they can use them with their clients, and talk a little bit about the Swing Catalyst plates in the dual motion plates because they're fantastic for coaching. But these guys also have the Gears system. Gears system is a marker 3D motion system. You've got these markers across all your body. You can measure different segments in 3D space and time. And I had a lesson. I had to have a lesson because I love this kind of technology. I love Gears. These guys are serious with coaching. Let's see how I got on. So we're going to capture a swing. I'm just going to try and use the forces how I normally do.
Yep, good as gold. Yep, absolutely right.
You see, it's a functional shot.
It's very down the target line.
I'm going to hit target more than miss.
Yeah.
So I use these ones?
Yeah, throw a few in there, Mark.
Hit me. What have we got?
Okay, so capture one. As everyone knows, you've been working a lot on forces.
Speed. They're perfect.
They're absolutely perfect. No fault at all. Vertical through the roof, as everybody already knows.
Yeah.
So we saw top of the backswing, right elbow flexion was crazy high.
Right. Explain that for me with your right elbow for the audience.
So if I go from behind, okay, we had a lot of this bend.
So my right arm bends a lot.
A lot.
Which we're calling right elbow flexion.
Which is comfortable, which is easy, which is safe.
For me it is.
And means most of the time is so people don't have to turn as much as and put as much effort in.
Yes.
Okay?
Just quickly there, sorry to interrupt as well, I imagine lots of everyday golfers watching this, that's something
this
they
would be
will
massive.
Very common.
I don't think I've ever done a standard lesson and somebody's walked in at a decent level of flex in this elbow.
So this is something I have thought about before, and I have run away from this because I do find it hard to hit the ball doing what we're about to show you. But just so the audience at home are aware, so a common backswing for an amateur would be kind of here. And if you can imagine, this arm is bent a lot. So mine was bent by how many degrees?
You were 119 degrees in capture one.
So 119 degrees worth of bend. So 90 degrees as an estimate is going to be about there.
90 degrees would be lovely. You was way over that.
Beyond. Rory McIlroy.
69.
69! What an idiot! So he is out there. Like, you've got to get some crazy stretches going on.
Indeed.
For that. And I'm just looking at this poster here, and these kind of positions make a lot of sense when you talk about trail arm, bending.
Absolutely.
Flexion, extension, whatever way we want to call it.
Tour average, we wouldn't want to see anything beyond the 90 mark. So fist into this join, anything beyond that is run off.
Now, what happens, I then get a little bit excessive lead arm abduction, if we can explain what that is.
So the left arm moves quite a long way across the chest, which
is
again, we see all day, every day.
And then in turn, then I don't need to move my shoulders, turn them or tilt them as much, do I?
Full backswing.
Yeah, because I'm using that and this coming across the chest, and then I don't need to do this as much.
So I falsely made a 90-degree shoulder swing.
Correct.
Okay. We don't want that.
Well, for power, I'm leaving stuff on the table.
Right, again, you're never going to get your hand path high enough.
Yeah.
It's going to be short. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, gears. Gears. Go on then, show me that at the top of the backswing.
Okay, we have here, start position. As we roll that through, we nudge the backswing along. It looks as though we are a little bit narrow here, so everybody would naturally just go straight to left arm flex. Okay, it's the easiest thing. We're all teaching from face on. Everybody looks as what they can see. With gears, go from behind. This is our core position. We want that wider.
So if I get that wider, in theory, I'm going to have a bigger circle with my arms.
Correct, you're going to have more
potential to width to pick up some speed.
To be fair, hold the angles fairly well on the way down.
Explain that. So my wrist angles.
So your left wrist into club, left forearm into club is at about 92. Okay. Most people with this position don't only have the poor elbow position, have a lot of.
Oh, they have a lot of wrist.
Extension in left wrist, which is hard work. Then because that's so bent, they extend
Yes.
and go fishing.
Yeah.
Okay. Whereas we want some width.
Yes.
Allows us to hold some angles, create some better, powerful positions.
So in effect, we're seeing those. I've got the ramifications, or I've got kind of patterns that you're seeing in everyday students.
We see this all day, every day.
You know, I'm using a lot of bend here. I'm stretching this across my arm so I don't have to turn so much. It feels quite comfortable, feels quite safe. So now we're going to see, I was 150.
119.
Oh,
and we want to get under 90.
Oh, do we now?
Ideally.
Look at him. Easy to say that back there behind a desk. Isn't it? So basically, I am going to feel like I am putting my trail elbow that side of me. So I'm not going to let it get behind me is how I'm feeling this. I don't care how you feel it. You can work out the ways how that's in my head. I'm going to think, okay, if I get this elbow that side of me, I'm going to struggle to bend it more than 90. If I get it up this way a bit, well, I feel like I can bury it behind me, and now look at that bend, you know, it's going way over the hundreds.
Correct.
So I'm going to feel in effect that I'm kind of over here, which I'll tell you, you're probably not safe in that camera there. Because this, I've been down this road before and I hit it pretty bad. Oh yes, and that's what I do a lot. I hit massive toes when I do it.
Yeah.
Because it's completely changing my sequence, isn't it?
Drive home cross-handed, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. It's completely changing my understanding of when I'm actually changing direction.
Correct.
It's mad. Let's do another one. Capture another one. How is he 63? Do you reckon that's programmed? I mean, Rory's that's programmed in, isn't it?
It's natural. He hasn't trained that.
Like he's lucky enough
can just
that something
disassociate
happened. Yeah.
massively. Yeah.
That's what makes sense to me, and I'm Rory McIlroy.
Most guys 90.
Yeah. Which is another ingredient of why you can see, in theory, a smaller guy creating massive forces and
wide
powers.
arcs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's pushing that to an outlier, isn't he? He must be at the top
He's
end
an anomaly.
of the yeah.
Yeah.
So in the 90s is what we're after. It does. It feels like I have to get this going a lot.
That's a move you've never stretched.
Yeah, I'm going that way, aren't I? Oh yeah, that is just toe town. I love it. I mean, I felt like the second one there, I shifted the needle in the movement.
Yeah.
Finding that down there, I'd have to do my own trousers.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't care where it goes because I can work that out.
You could find
I
it
feel
all
like
eventually.
you can leave me alone and I'll find that and let's remeasure. But that feels like I need you measuring this because I think I've done it and you're going to go, oh, no.
Go a bit more.
That's why I need it measuring.
Yeah.
Did I move the needle?
You moved the needle substantially.
Now we've actually got the figures wrong on the original capture. I was in the 120 something.
120-ish, yeah.
Which is like, that's high. That's a lot for my bracket of player. I would say I'm in the top line of rubbish.
Well, you say that, we still see a lot of good golfers.
He's just being kind now.
Come in somewhere near 100.
Yeah, exactly. So what did I get it to? Because it felt extreme to me.
Okay, well you got it to a nice number of 85.
Wow.
So that's a big shift. That's
massive.
30 odd degrees.
Yeah.
More.
And I can feel that.
Yeah, which will be hard on the body.
Yeah.
Funny thing was, you actually turned more with torso to create that.
Yeah, so I'm increasing my torso turn.
Rotation to create a fuller backswing length. Whereas before, you could be a bit lazy with that torso
Very
rotation.
lazy.
And get that in here. The other thing we haven't also measured, you lost 10 degrees of excess lead shoulder reduction.
Really?
So you went to about 25 instead of about 35.
Yeah.
So they stayed.
And that's why I can't hit it, because there's a serious mass ordering change there, isn't there?
The chain's completely out in terms of the sequence.
Yeah. And with any change, I always think, I use the term there, I can't hit it. It's very easy to run away now.
Correct, and hide and go back to comfort.
Because you're saying that's better.
Yep.
Better, but I'm seeing worse shots.
Correct. So your intent needs to change.
Correct. If my intent is to keep pushing distance, that is so clear how that's going to shift the needle again.
100%.
Like the balance plate shifted the needle for me and I've moved them.
Yes.
This idea of measuring and understanding will make it. I do that with, with a driver. I'll tell you now, without measuring, and we've got time later, we might do, or we'll come back and do another measure with the driver. I do that more with the driver.
wider arc.
I go more lead arm abduction.
Oh, as
more
you get
trail
worse.
arm. Yes.
Yes, most people do.
Because the club's longer.
Yeah, because it's
I can't
absolutely.
wield it as easily.
Yeah.
And it feels safer.
Correct.
And what am I trying to do? Just keep the ball in play.
Find a fairway.
To try and stretch it out like that with the 7-iron feels extreme. To do that with a driver, we're talking toes that go over that fence.
And this is also, it's then gym work as well.
Yeah, it's
with this.
Because I can feel that in here.
You would do. Because you're not comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've never gone home and stretched that out.
Yeah, and in my swing, I'm not trying to stretch that out in my swing at all. It's just comfortable, like you say.
Correct.
It's easy.
Yes.
There you go. What do you think? Something to think about for all of us. Certainly me. I've been down this road before. I feel so comfortable back here, and I hit target. But pushing distance, I'm going to give this a go. Do you think I should give this a go? Will this make me better or worse? I think it's a great idea for us all to learn together. You can watch me fail rather than before you decide if you want to fail or not. I'm going to give it a go. Do you reckon it'll add any distance? What do you think? Let me know in the comments.